Hello, let's do Wordle for Tuesday, August 4th. Yesterday we spun the wheel. It's set to start with choir. All right, an O and an I. That's lucky from choir. The I's an interesting spot. I'm thinking O first, I here, or sorry, O second, I fourth. What does that though? Is it an ID? Because C is gone. IN? Something like toxin? I mean, it's written out pretty much. Why not? Let's do an X, toxin. Ooh, there is a T. Ooh, no N. So does it end in T then? Like posit? Posit would have been a much better second guess. Well, it's not posit. All right. OTI. So what are we ending in? OTID? IL? IE? IE looks pretty good, but I don't see a word. Doti? Goatee? That's not how you spell goatee. I'm pretty sure it's GOA. All right, I might be eating my words later, but I'm pretty sure that's not. How about an IA? Votia, motia, dotia, fotia. Not seeing that. Ooh, how about F, motif? Nice, it was motif. That's a fun word. Really strange pattern of letters that you don't see a lot. So I don't think there's going to be super traps here, but it may just be difficult to think of. All right, well, before we do anything else, let's spin the members wheel so I don't have to awkwardly cut it in like yesterday. All right. We've got Peach, suggested by Libby Gale, a patron. So if you'd like to follow along, tomorrow we'll be starting with Peach. And let's do some analysis here. So the answer is motif. It's a music term, like a motif, like John Williams does a lot of motifs, like just little themes that play over and over again. We start with choir. Choir loses in 3 cases, so don't start with choir, I guess. We only have 16 words left, including toxin. So I went toxin. Toxin is probably not on this list. Toxin is probably the worst of the list of the 16 that you could go for. But it did reduce us to 3 answers, so that's lucky. Motif, posit, and vomit. And just go for one of them, and it'll get you the answer. So posit had only one unlikely, ooted, whatever that is. But yeah, motif was it after posit. So I got pretty lucky there. It was the T that was important. All right, it would go polio. And from there, we have 6 answers left. And if we go movie, moxie, or vomit, then it's guaranteed an answer. Unfortunately, motif isn't quite good enough to get you the answer from all 6. So you're not going to get it in 3 following this. If you do something like movie, then motif just pops out. All right. Well, let's check with least here. Good start. All right, north. And then there are 4 answers left. And it says go topic or toxic, because they get each other, and then either one of them will get their other 2. So let's go toxic, and then motif. I went toxin, not toxic, but anyway. And then steel. With just the LOT, we go mount, or we could go north. And then it's motor or motto. So motif is the odd one out. Unfortunately, you don't get motif out of these 3 remaining. So you get motif in 4 if you follow along. All right, adieu is the most common starting word. With the yellow I, we go posit. Isn't that one that I guessed earlier? I think it is. Tonic, toxic, toxin, all get each other, and the motif is the odd one out. So we just don't go motif. And then it is a 4. All right, audio. It's going to have the I and the O. We're going to go tonic. And then motif we could get in 3. Motif is good enough to get the other 2. Otherwise, we go something like posit and then motif. All right. And then stare, another very common starting word. With the T, we're going to go point. And then now we're down to just 2 words, motif or toxic. So a 3 or a 4. Pert has the highest chance to get a 2. Today we're down to 107, so good luck. If we're going for something that could be the answer, we go ditty. Otherwise, we go dolts. But the whole point of pert is to try to get it in 2. So we're going to go ditty. And from there, it's only motif or until. So we could get a 3 or a 4. And finally, tarps is what the official bot starts with these days. With just the T, we go fillet and then motif. Guaranteed 3, I guess. All right, well, let's bring back the Wordle Solve and check with the official bot. I bet it's going to give me a very poor skill score and a very high luck score for toxin. Should be interesting to see. All right. Just need to give this a good old save. Motif. All right. I just realized how neat it is to go ditty and then get motif after that for the pert solve. All right, so give me a skill 20. Sorry, not 20, 90. Why did I say 20? Give me a skill 90, which is higher than I thought it would be. Who's there with choir? 351 others. Solid, patio. Interestingly, toxin is a very common follow-up here. Posit, audio, polio, vomit, folio. So toxin, it gives a 70 skill too. But obviously motif, congrats to those 3% who got it in 2 after choir. Folio seems like it guarantees the answer after. Movie is very good, so is vomit. And patio, toxin, and posit are all tied at 1.4. Polio's at 1.9. So choir did well today, it seems like, unless you go for something like audio for some reason. All right, posit had a 99 skill score, and so did motif. So that bumped up my skill score quite a bit from the 70. The luck was only 55 on toxin, so not as high as I thought it would be. Tarps live motif. Interesting. We don't get to see who started with motif today. 2.0, 24.4, 74.2 on turn 4, 95.9, 99.4. This is actually a lower solve rate than I thought. I thought we could have greater than 99 here. Losing a motto, vomit, motus, motor, optic, toxic. All right. Well, let's refresh and check in regular mode. That's why we saved the screenshot. The answer was motif. Right. All right. $86. So it wanted more fillers there. Toxin got him 60. So who did best here? Motif, obviously. Folio had a 1.1. Oh, so Folio doesn't guarantee it. Or maybe there were some people doing fillers after. Vomit, and then Vomit and Patio did well. Toxin and Posit did a 1.8. It's interesting how it's different here. Maybe more people doing fillers in regular mode because they can't think of motif. All right, slate, count, motor, motif. No fillers on that one, as far as I can tell. 0.3 starting with motif, 1.8, 19.4, 62.1. That jumps a lot less. 90.1, 98. People losing on motto, vomit, motor, motif. All right, well, how did you do?